Today I'm beating Elden Ring, but every single boss I'm using a new weapon. I'm here to find out if I can beat the game or if the game beats me. This kills me, right? Yup. Fuck! The first boss I'm facing is Margit, and what better way to face him than using the katana I was given at the start of the game and Alexander's Jashad.
No, don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Margit being the first boss meant he was in for a world of pain against my long katana.
What do you mean by that?
This thing chops through health quicker than a therapist does your parents' marriage.
Emotional, damn it!
Luckily for me and everyone else, this fight is pretty easy, so I had no real trouble. I've also done it a million times, but who's counting? You've given us a valiant service, Katana, but it's time you fuck off. Going down the family tree, Godric was next up. I think they're related. To be honest, I have no idea what's going on half the time. Before heading to Godric, I spiced things up by purchasing some arrows and using the longbow. That I was yet again given at the start of the game. 2 weapons straight off the bat because Samurai class is just broken. With the Ash of War Mighty Shot along with the Arrow Sting Talisman, this fight was a piece of cake. Unironically, the bow might be the best weapon for this boss. I was only hit one time, and that was by his tornado attack. Whoa, what the fuck is that? So far, things were easy, but they were about to get even easier. Picking up the flail from Limgrave, I used it to defeat the Bloodhound Knight who dropped the infamous Bloodhound Fang. Using this prestigious weapon against Ronaldo would be a waste. So I ended up going with the Lordsworn's Greatsword, which I also picked up earlier in the game. I know I'm going to get a couple of pesky people in the comments asking about the Red Wolf on the way, so here you go. It's called a highlight reel for a reason. I'm not showing every boss. Fucking sue me. I did kill this guy with an axe though. I'd like to sum up Renala in just a handful of words. She was easy. Dying to her should be considered a war crime.
This is Lonnie, okay? And I'm gonna show you my battle cry.
Altus Plateau is where the Elden Ring challenge bar increases. It's where the player is first tested, and a prime example of this is the boss at the end of the Royal Capital. The Bloodhound Fang was ready and put to the test. On this particular day, I had ice in my veins.
Sing!
Normally this boss grapes me with an R, but through some skill and a bunch of luck, I said not today. Using some fun throw sticks to get a bleed, along with the Bloodhound's Fang, secured my inevitable victory. As I stood over my defeated opponent, I said one last goodbye to the best weapon in the game. I used Axe of Godric along with the Carrion Knight Sword to get you, so we'll part ways with them as well. So far, we've used a decent variety of weapons, but we're still missing magic, and of course, a cheese weapon. That's where this next weapon comes in. As for the Fire Giant, I'm going to be using the Rivers of Blood. I'm going to be using the Rivers of Blood. Going to be using the Rivers of Blood. The Rivers of... I'm going to be using the Rivers of Blood. Now, with the most hated weapon in the game, along with this blood talisman, I was ready to nurture the fire giant into the ground. I hate this goddamn boss. So, for the fire giant, I'm thinking we pick up the venomous fang and equip it with the bleed lifesteal Ash of War. What this allows me to do is, since this weapon attacks really fast, I can constantly proc poison, which will slowly chip away at his health, while also doing good percentage damage with the bleed from my Ash of War. We can just forget the Rivers of Blood incident ever happened, since I already have PTSD, knowing it took me an hour to get everything I needed for a 5-minute boss fight, to then delete everything I spent so long getting. After the mountaintops of the giants, I touched a woman, W in the comment section, and then went to face the duo of pain. I have a feeling everyone who's beaten Elden Ring knows how this next part goes. We grab the special cookbook to brew up what I like to add to unattended girls' drinks at night, aka sleep pots, aka how I feel watching this video. Using these to put the Foreskin brothers to sleep, we can activate Golden Vow and start the Ash of War spam.
Go crazy! Ah, go stupid! Ah!
Doing this multiple times, the Rivers of Blood was put to good use, so we can all now forget about the fire giant incident. Making my way through endgame, I decided to switch things up to show you how broken incantations and sorceries can be. The same rules apply, meaning I can only use each incantation or spell once before destroying them. Making its debut, we have the Rotten Breath incantation. To get this incantation, you need a single dragon heart, which I burn my Reduvia for. I also paired this up with a rock sling spell along with the meteorite staff, and changed my drip to the queen set for that extra big brain, even though I look 10 times stupider. Cheesing this boss is fun, because all I have to do is activate Rotten Breath, run around for 5 minutes, parry Malekith because I'm a fucking god, and not because I have the Blasphemous Blade. I then activate Scarlet Rot once again, and run until this furry rolls over. Gideon is a useless human being, so I'm going to skip over him. But Godfrey is where I can show off how good a magic build can really be. This is everything I got to prep for this one fight. I know it's a lot, but watch this. Godfrey wanted more, so after unaliving his lion, I used the Carry and Piercer spell to finish him off. And now we've come to the final fight in the game, where I decided to become death itself. You want the build? Tough? You're not getting it? Okay, fine. Hit subscribe, and I'll show you right at the end of the video. Anyway, here's the final boss of Elden Ring. I was going to try and make a somewhat suspenseful ending, but it's a little hard when your character's built like a literal god. I'd like to thank you all for watching me beat Elden Ring using a new weapon on every boss. As promised, here's the final build I used.